Hello and welcome to the BAFTA-nominated overview show. I've got a packed agenda. I've got a board with things on it that we're going to put numbers in later. I've got Joel Penny making his debut. Hi, Joel. Nice for you to make your debut, yeah?
Thanks for having me. It's an honour.
Stop it. You've long since had the honour, haven't you, Ian?
I had the honour a decade ago.
And now you're sitting today in the chair that makes everybody look overweight.
Which is what I need. This has been my dream since I was 13 years old.
We're hoping
to
you're
look heavier.
The first person that isn't going to make look overweight.
First person to sit in the chair
man,
and
I know.
Mediocre at best, basically.
You're going to take it with you.
Taking this in the camera and going to have to set them up in my living room and just feel good about myself.
Yeah. Adam, do you feel good that you're sitting in that chair as opposed to that chair this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good news, isn't it, all around? Let's talk about the Reds, shall we? The last episode of what's this show called? It's the overview show. I've written John's written some lines for me to say about the sponsor, and he went Tour Unwrapped. This isn't Tour Unwrapped. No, it's the overview show.
Deliberately confusing you at the top of the
right.
show.
So we need a word from our sponsors, so stop messing around, Adam. This episode of the overview show is brought to you by NordVPN. So if you go to nordvpn.com/TOW, you'll get a great deal exclusive to you, Adam.
Right.
Do you like extra internet security and peace of mind? Mm-hmm. Great. Do you like having the ability to change your virtual location with a click of a button?
Yes.
Brilliant. You're ticking a lot of boxes. Do you like having a 30-day money-back guarantee?
Do I?
Do you? Do you ever? You get it at nordvpn.com/TAW. Well, that was exciting. Should we talk about the Reds and what they did last month? Adam, you were on the show. You reminded me beforehand.
Yes.
And apparently you predicted everything brilliantly. Well,
yeah.
These were the games. Let me remind the audience. We played... do you know this show, by the way, Joel? Are you walking into this...
We're doing an overview. I know that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You know the word suggests. Right. So we look back and we look forward. So last month we looked at the forthcoming then Arsenal away, Barnsley FA Cup home, Burnley at home in the league, Marseille away in the Champions League, Bournemouth away in the league, Karabag at home in the Champions League, and we finished with Newcastle at home in the league. Was the last one we looked at. What have you got to crow about?
Well, not exactly crow. I was miserable. I was miserable on the last overview
were you?
show. Yeah.
Is that going to happen again?
No. And I don't know why. Because I said
tough week.
I predicted we'd get 5 points, and we actually got 4.
Did we get? We got 4 points.
We got 4.
So you're actually really optimistic.
So yeah.
You only get 4
it
points
actually
in that
doesn't
stretch.
feel that shit.
No, I know.
Goal
That was what.
No, we
That's
didn't,
worse than I
we
thought.
drew with Burnley, didn't we? No, we got 5. We beat Newcastle, drew with Burnley and Arsenal.
Drew with Arsenal, yeah.
And lost to Bournemouth. We got 5.
Okay. Oh, so I was right.
Looks like you were
Spot
spot
I was spot on. I had it in my head that we got 4. But anyway, that wasn't it. That was quite a downbeat prediction. I thought Arsenal would beat us, I think, as well. So anyway, but I don't feel too downbeat now, and maybe that is simply recency bias.
Maybe drinking less.
I meant just purely football wise.
Sorry.
Purely football wise, I was feeling quite pessimistic, and that was where the 5-point prediction came from. And the fact that we got that should probably mean that I'm sitting here miserable again and going to make similar predictions. But I don't feel as gloomy going forward, and that might just be, as I say, recency bias because we've just won our last 2 games, one of them being in Europe, but scored 10 goals. But yeah, or it could be certain other things coming together and making me feel like we might be on a bit more solid ground now.
I said on the notes on the agenda, Joel, that it's been a weird month, and it's funny to sort of hear the point said out loud because it feels, whilst you can't say it's been a good month, it's been, there's been some real disappointment in there, like the Bournemouth defeat. The performances have broadly been better, I would argue. I'm just rattling through them very quickly. Everyone was very happy after the draw at Arsenal because we betted them on the night, I think. No one could complain about that we dispatched Barnsley 4-1. Burnley was a big disappointment in terms of the result, but not the performance. But Marseille felt a real big bounce back. It was great performance, great result. Bournemouth, that late kick in the pants. But then Karabag was as good as you could hope for. It cemented qualification in Champions League. And Newcastle, apart from the first 25 minutes or so, was really, really encouraging. So do you think, is there a mood of, I don't know, I was saying to myself, I've got this gut feel she's going to tempt fate that maybe we are beginning to turn the corner at long last.
Yeah, I think Marseille for me, I'm hoping at the end of the season we look back to Marseille as that was the moment we kicked on, and I think comes at the same time. Salah comes back in the team, and I know he's not being, amazing. He's been quite sloppy on the ball, but I think it does add a balance to the attack. And I think this, attacking, up front where we've got Gakpo, Salah, and then obviously Vert and Ekitike in the middle, I think that gives us, something to pin our hopes on, definitely. I think the Arsenal game was interesting. I think the circumstances we went in, we had no Ekitike, we had Salah, if you think back. So I think, you can take some positive momentum in terms of the manager got it right, in terms of the setup.
We had no forwards that night, did we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you could tell on the night because there was a real lack of cutting edge. And that's why I think, as you look at Marseille, the attacking they're starting to express themselves. You've got, obviously, with the balance of the squad, with Salah on the wide and getting Vert centrally, that partnership between Vert and Ekitike is really taken off. And I think if anything's going to give us momentum this season, it's going to be those two. So yeah, I'm hoping that Marseille is the jumping off point. Obviously, we have Bournemouth that happens between that, so it gives, it's not ideal, but I think we can hopefully look back at that and think that was the anomaly from this sort of run. Hopefully, and again, we didn't have Ekitike playing there as well, so that obviously comes into things. So
I also think with that one, to interrupt you, that it comes, 48, 72 hours after we've travelled to Marseille and put a lot of energy in then. That is a bit of mitigation, I think.
Definitely, and you see how that plays out in the match as well. I mean, it goes I can't remember what minute it goes to, but obviously they get the last minute winner and think you might be able to put that down to some fitness or lack of rhythm into the squad. And even in that game, you've got to give them some credit. I mean, they do get it back to 2-2. Obviously, ultimately, it counts for nothing. But that's something we've not seen much of, is the team being able to re-energise itself second half to get back into a game. So take the small positive from that. Let's hope that Bournemouth is the anomaly, and then going forward, we see more Newcastles and Marseilles.
And we've seen more goals as well going in.
Exactly.
The level of performance, we seem to have hit, I think, a higher level of performance at times in the last month. I don't want to make it sound like we're celebrating a 5-point month here, but there is no doubt we played, Arsenal being lauded by the media, they are top of the league. I grudgingly have to accept that they deserve to be top of the league. But that was a night, I think City had dropped points, hadn't they, just before, or that weekend. There was an opportunity for them to really extend the lead.
We could close the gap on them.
Sorry?
We could have closed the gap on City by winning.
No, but
Arsenal
actually
extended.
Yeah, well, exactly. Arsenal bounced into that game.
I think it was the Manchester derby. Arsenal could have.
That's right.
They lost the Manchester derby.
City had lost the Manchester derby.
And we conceded later Fulham as well, so we was going, with no confidence.
So, yeah, exactly. We were seen, the betting representative, we were seen as lambs to the slaughter a bit that night. We went into the game without an attack. Okay, we were defensive for the first 20 minutes, and then we came out and we actually managed to end up dominating them and nearly winning the football match. It's one of the high quality away performances in Europe all season, I'd ask by anyone to do that to a very good team.
European away performance, that.
As the much rated Marseille, similar, but with more goals for us.
I was expecting to get battered to Marseille. I really thought they'd turn us up.
I thought we'd be beaten.
I thought we were in a bad place.
And I thought, Newcastle, I think I was feeling more optimistic coming into the game after Qarabag, but it still was a banana skin there. They had the muscle...
Especially when you concede first.
Yeah, and they had the muscle memory of beating us in the League Cup final and thinking that was their way home again. And for half an hour, it was their way home. So I think there's genuinely possibly 3-ish of our best performances of the season. You probably throw in 2 or 3 others, but in a compact space of time, I felt that we're beginning to repeat quality performances is hugely encouraging.
Yeah, I think very quietly. I've come in because I prepare for overview shows because I'm not saying everybody else should, but I won't remember a single thing if I don't. So I sit down and I make notes. Very quietly, when you look at this piece of paper in front of me, we've won 4 out of 6 in all competitions.
I'm just marvelling that you use paper and don't do it as notes on your phone.
Oh, no, I'm old school. I'm a writer. I've got to use pen and paper. Very quietly, we've won 4 out of 6. I'm still not prepared to. I'm not prepared to be as generous to them about Bournemouth as you were, Joel. I can't give them mitigation. I can't actually give them any sympathy because
it was a comeback.
It was a comeback.
We've come back all season in anything.
But you can't excuse the way we conceded the first 2 goals. We were terrible.
No, it's fine. It's not a good point. It's bad to that.
So the point of their first goal is the captain absolutely making the pig's ear and trying to clear something. And it's so bad that not only do we concede a goal, we lose defender for a fortnight. That was just bad. We come back.
I'd probably concede the second due to the same incident.
It
takes so long to get a sub on.
Down 6 minutes to put a sub on is pathetic. It's just the whole thing was a farce. That first half, that first probably hour was a farce. We get back in, but we're giving ourselves too much to do. But again, you shouldn't be conceding that last minute goal anyway, because everybody should do better with that. They should be just getting rid, and they didn't. But Karabag, you can only beat what's in front of you, but you put the goals in. So you put
Also,
six
they're
in the
not
game.
shite. I'm not having that.
No.
You've got to go with Chelsea.
I was going to say drawn with Newcastle, he drawn with Chelsea, hadn't he? Newcastle is the one that tells me more about who we are as a team. The fact that because I was on a show with Adam Smith a while back where he said what he wanted to see us go behind and then win. And we did it. And we went behind to, a goal that was kind of our own making again, because obviously it's McAllister's assist for Anthony Gordon, basically. He passes it across the box to him. He clears it straight to his feet. It's a great finish. At that point, everyone's heads could go. But we go for it and we play well. And it's the Ekitike and Wirtz partnership really embedded at the moment. And that's why, again, it's recency bias, as Adam just said. I feel good at the moment. I feel optimistic. I feel more optimistic than if I'd been on this show last time you were on. I'd have been as pessimistic as you were, because I thought I couldn't see any way out of the rut. At the moment, I actually feel good about what Liverpool is becoming.
Okay, on that positive note, let's talk about the negatives.
Okay.
Because they're next on my agenda. Adam, the negatives are the consistency's not quite there. That's obvious, and Bournemouth is emblematic of that. Although we've all discussed, we think there's signs of it creeping back, the consistency, and higher level of consistency. The omnipresent problem, though, is that the squad's too thin, and we haven't solved that problem in any way, shape, or form in the January transfer window. And it's only got thinner with the injuries during the course of this month to both Bradley out for the season and Frimpong out for an indeterminate number of weeks. And quite frankly, although we've managed to find a lot of good stuff in the last month, we are actually outside of the Champions League places now. We're not in the top four. We're sixth, I think, as we record. So there's work to be done here, and there's anxieties we can't really quell. There's a lot of hope and prayer stuff, especially given the depth of the squad.
Yeah, once the transfer window closes, I sort of can't be bothered grumbling about it, to be honest. It is what it is, and
It's still fresh, so it still hurts me.
Yeah, so I do feel like the ownership loves to leave us like a car with the doors rattling off and hope that we'll make it to the end of the road, and then we'll see what happens. So it feels a bit like that again. We're kind of on a wing and a prayer and crossing fingers that we manage to muddle through, especially in sort of central defence and right back. I don't know. I'm kind of like on board with it. We just have to hope that it is okay, and you can see where the options are, who they're gonna slot in if players do, if players do break down for a small length of time. I kind of think I feel like we'll be okay. There are some players coming back. Players seem to be, when I've looked at who's coming back, everybody seems to be coming back a little bit sooner than I was expecting.
Is Isak due sooner than we think?
Yeah, Isak a bit sooner. Frimpong a bit sooner was the other one I was thinking.
Gomez a bit sooner.
And Gomez a bit sooner. So yeah, and Jones has been out, but he's back already.
He was ill, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was ill. Yeah. So there was a few that at our thinnest, you look and you think, oh my God, we haven't got any bench at all. And then actually, there are people coming back not too far away to bolster it. Canate, the other one, obviously he wasn't injured, but he's back now anyway, and back with a bang. I think he was
he was great.
Maybe better than he's been all season now. So hopefully that continues, because that, you don't need four defenders all to play at four central defenders all to play at the same time. If they stay fit, then you are okay. So that, I think, is probably the thinking. As fans, we tend to think we need lots of extra ones. And I'm not sure the club feels like.
Let me stop you though. Last time out against Newcastle and Karabag, we played a front four. We played Gakpo left, Salah right, Ekitike at front and Wirtz behind in both those games.
Yeah.
Did real well, right? You almost think that was always the plan all along, by the way. That was the plan in buying Wirtz. How to play. Now, if you continue along that route, say that he plays more or less that way in most of these games coming up, there's nothing off the bench. All due respect to 17-year-old Rio Ngamoa and the not fully functional Federico Chiesa. It's a real lack of attacking. It sort of means you're destined for your last 15, 20 minutes to always possibly frustrate, whereas the other team are likely, I mean dramatic, score the new one. That's the problem. I mean, this is why I'm, well, anyway.
Yeah, well, the end. I think the main problem there's been a few problems for Slot. I think the main problem for him, the one that looked for a good while like it might be the end of him, was how we were finishing games. I couldn't believe how badly we were tailing off, and so you are correct to identify that as a going concern. I don't think it will always be that front four to start, and I think that we are going to be looking heavily to rely on the Ekitike-Wirtz partnership and the other permutating around that. Yeah, and I think that will work. As long as we
can get them on the pitch. Yeah, if you could give me one wish from the genie of football,
exactly.
Wishes, keep those two on the pitch.
And I think that's the thing. And just to sort of go back to what we were talking about before, have performances improved? I think yes, but the first thing that happened, I think Joel said it before, the first thing that happened was goals. So we started scoring goals before we started playing well. And I think sometimes it does go that way round. So I think we are in a period of improvement now, and I think the first thing that happened, it's not a coincidence that it was when Salah came back, although he hasn't kind of been among the goals. The first thing that happened was that goals started to fly in. So he did score one. And so as I suspect that we will see. It's just confidence, the team when they go one behind against Newcastle, they've had a load of goals going for them, recently, and so they're not wounded and as much as they had been in like November, and the panic doesn't spread as it probably would have if that had happened in November. It did against Forest, didn't it?
There's 20 goals in the last 6 games, by the way.
So I think that's and I do really think that's what it is. As a fan, I wasn't in the sort of dark place that I'd been when Newcastle scored. I was annoyed, and it didn't feel great, but at the same time you sort of think I'm being a bit of a pantomime. I'm in a bit of a pantomime mood, really, because I suspect that Liverpool will score, and we did. We scored 2 before half time, don't we, in that game? So
I think that's the key. I think the first goal, the first Ekitike goal, is the key, because we're not playing well at that point, and as he scores, that's when we switch.
And I think that's because the attack is confident.
Yeah,
that's been the difference. The defence obviously is not playing amazingly to concede a goal like that, and the midfield, and as you say, McAllister in particular, sort of looking as up and down as he's looked all season. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to impact on everything because the attack feels purring. The attack's confident, and they know they just want to get the ball up to them. So they're sort of like, okay, well, we conceded, but let's go. So that's how I feel, and I feel like that spreads through the team in the same way the panic does the other way.
Yeah, it feels like now when you're watching Ekitike and Wirtz, when there's a sniff of a chance, you see their eyes light up. Especially Wirtz now. I think he's become a goal scorer. He scored 6 in 10, I think. And if you can count the one that he had chalked off at Sunderland, it's probably something like 7 in 11. Let's talk about Liverpool's upcoming games, the main focus of the show. For these purposes, over the next month, we're going to deal with the upcoming Man City at home game, Sunderland away next midweek, Brighton home in the FA Cup, Forest away in the league, and we'll finish with West Ham at home. That's four games, 2 home, 2 away. What are your immediate thoughts on that run of fixtures, Joel?
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think a lot of how the rest of the season could be determined in these games. So we've got the big Man City game, where I think if you're going off the rest of the season, we've actually turned up in those games. But I think the real interesting ones are going to be Forest away and West Ham at home. I think Forest away, I'm having nightmares about already, I'll be honest. They just, even though they're quite crap, I just think that Sean Dyson is Sean Dyson. Just loves playing against Liverpool, and I think they're going to sit right in. We know exactly what the game plan is going to be, so will we have enough to sort of break them down? But I'm more confident for the couple of games we've got coming up. I think, obviously, City and Sunderland away. I think Sunderland away is interesting. I think they obviously started very well and have been relatively good all season. I think their away form has tailed off quite a bit, but they've still looked fairly strong at home. But I think we go to them with a sort of different mindset than if we did if we went to a stadium like their game of the season, we'd think, it's a big promoted team, they're going to be up for it, but we wouldn't really be worried. Where we're now going to go into the thing, these are a very good team, Sunderland, and if we're not on it, they could beat us. So I think hopefully the switched on and we take the game to them. But I'm just interested to see what we do against the perceived lower sides, the West Hams, the Forest, whether we can break them down? Are we going to come up against the same challenges we've had all season with low blocks and set pieces and all that sort of stuff? And those stuff have changed a bit, but I think we'll really see if that's comes to fruition against those teams.
Yeah, it feels like for a while we've been doing 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. A rhythm that's very, very back and forth in. And I think, looking at the relative progress of the last, I mean, going back to, as Joel said, the Marseille, the semi-turning point. We have won 3 out of the last 4.
Yeah.
If we park Bournemouth a little bit, this mini revival encounters Man City. Not on their best form,
no.
but also obviously still a force. They at home, it's one of those games where I think early in the season, if we'd been at their ground, I'm taking a draw all day long just to continue. Even though I think we might have a chance, had a chance of winning at their ground, just to preserve momentum. Is this the sort of game where you think you'd take a draw just to keep us ticking over, or are you confident that we'll do them?
I'd take a draw to keep us ticking over. I'd always take a draw at City. I don't think a draw would damage us too much. We're 2 points behind them at the moment, so we would stay 2 points behind them, obviously.
Are we not? We're surely more than 2 behind them. City? Are we about 6
sure.
or
Yeah,
6,
we're like
8?
I think
7.
I've got my maths completely wrong.
Winning
that's
would
the bit I didn't prepare on. So winning would close the gap a little bit. I'm flipping City and Aston Villa in my mind, aren't I?
No, you're wrong as well there, Ian.
Yeah, there's 6 points.
You really fucked up. No, it's I think.
So the answer is
Chelsea 2 points ahead.
the answer is look at the league table to Ian. You know, that would be the answer.
We're 2 points behind someone.
We're 2 points
It's
behind someone.
United,
Yeah.
point behind Chelsea,
Yeah.
and about 7, I think, behind both Villa and City, who are the same points.
Right.
Start again.
Yes, I'm thinking Chelsea and United. That's what I'm
you're thinking.
doing.
That's what you're
Honest to God, I did.
We're not getting any younger, Ian.
I sat down for half an hour. It's
been a long day.
The synapse. It has, and it's only 10:30.
Shouldn't have put you in that chair. It's
I
my
think
fault.
no, it's the extra weight I'm carrying at the moment. Obviously, I would take a 0-0 there all day. I'd take a draw there all day. It wouldn't matter. But I think they're doable at the moment because they're not on the best run of form. You know, they've obviously.
They used last week. I know they beat Newcastle in the League Cup in
They drew with Tottenham.
They drew with
Oh, you
Tottenham.
have to be.
Oh yes,
That's
that's
a-
right. They
yeah.
were shite, weren't they? Second
Yeah.
half?
2-0 up, and they've got a genuine grievance over Solanke's goal, I think, the first one.
Do they? Oh.
Yeah, because he kicks the defender, and the defender kicks the ball. It's a foul.
You also lost to Bodo Glimp not long ago.
Yeah, they-
3-0 at Bodo Glimt. No, 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1, yeah.
Quite
3-1.
vulnerable away
Yeah.
from home, I think.
So they are capable of throwing one at the moment. They're variable. They're not the untouchable version of City.
The other thing about it, I think there's two things. Is their record at Anfield is terrible. You know,
Yeah.
if you talk to City fans, they always think they're going to get beat at Anfield. And the other thing that just in my mind, which is ridiculous, it's not real, is that we are in the middle. We are a bit part players in someone else's season at the moment, and so that means that City are going to drop points again because we're in Arsenal's narrative. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would be really surprised if City win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a score draw because there have been a good few score draws down the years, depending on how good City are on the day. But yeah, I think we'll either win or draw.
Okay, I think we're going to win, but we'll do the predictions at the end. Sandwiched in the middle of it, we've got Brighton in the FA Cup, Joel. I mean, whilst we need to bring a proper season, having had a really quite poor first 55-60% of the season, and our minds are on improving that league position, getting into the top 4 and going somewhere in the Champions League. It feels like we do have to take the FA Cup that bit more seriously than we might have done otherwise. It'd be nice to keep saying we're in X number of competitions. Do you know what I mean? Psychologically, as much as anything, even if we're to eventually fall short in the semi-final or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a turgid old season so far, but my God, you can change the narrative with a couple of good cup runs at the end of the season. You know, the manager, if he wants a bit of momentum and positive feeling, the best way to do that is to take us far in, obviously, the Champions League, but also the FA Cup. I think that's what's a bit frustrating about the games we've just gone over, where we dropped so many points. I think if we was in a bit more, solid position for Champions League, we could just go all out on the cups. Now we're going to have to, balance different things, of course. I think there's a decent gap between games, or it's not too extensive, or...
Actually, you're right. Sunderland falls in the week of City, Sunderland and Brighton. So that's Is that, yeah, that's in 6 days, that's 3 games, that's quite tight, because, yeah, the Brighton games, but after that, I think we get full week, and full week to Forest, full week to West Ham.
Okay, so I'm like
8 days. 8
And then
days
full
to
week
Forest.
into the, yeah.
Yeah. So if it was me, I'd go all out for Brighton. Let's try and get it won. Does that go to extra time, or is the replay still happening? I don't know what
There's
happened.
no replays. I think it's extra time and pens, is it, in the FA Cup? God, if only we knew if only we knew things about
Every
football.
competition's different.
Who
so I
knows
would like to
anymore?
stick my neck
It changes
out.
all the time, doesn't it? Like
There's no replays. I think you're right. There's no replays. It's extra time and
So we can get it.
I'm not even sure it's extra time anymore.
I think
That's the League
that's
Cup.
the
Is that the League Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing well today, aren't I?
But Brighton are also, a decent outfit. Obviously, they beat United in the last round away from home. They'll be trying to do it again. So it won't be easy. So I think we do have to go quite
I
strong.
say one chance for a trophy.
Exactly. Could also be ours. So yeah, I think a cup run would be vital just for a sort of positive feeling and momentum. I think we want to keep on that trajectory and keeping everyone sort of buoyed and together. And there's no better way than getting a nice sunny day out to Wembley.
So do you think he'll make changes for Brighton? I mean, I think you'll expect him to go as strong as he can for City and then follow that up against Sunderland. But how far will he push them? Because Brighton actually comes just 3 days after Sunderland. It's a Wednesday, Saturday thing. So he'd be mindful of not taking people into the red zone, I think.
Well, yeah, and especially as we were saying before, Wirtz and Ekitike, it may be
they don't start.
That one or both of those doesn't start. But I don't think he'll make 10 changes or anything mad like that.
Not that kind of guy.
No, he's not that kind of guy, and unless he's throwing a competition as he did in the league this season. But I think the Brighton thing, what I was going to say is that they are the strangest team in the league, and you just can't give them encouragement. I watched that game when they knocked United out, and United start better and then do the thing that I've seen Liverpool sides do almost every season against someone or other, is give them encouragement. And we can't let them get their tails up, because if you just keep convincing them that they are not going to have one of their days, then they just won't. It's a very strange team, Brighton. But yeah, well, I think we will be trying to do well, and I think a mentality will be right on the day, and maybe having those players to come off the bench instead of starting will actually help.
Okay, I don't want to talk about Forest and West Ham, because we're dropping points to those two, because we don't beat the good teams anymore. That's just a fact. So let's talk about our rivals, who we hope will drop more points than us. It's quite a long list this time.
Including Sunderland, then. Sunderland, Forest, and West Ham. We didn't talk about Sunderland. Forest.
We talked about Sunderland. Joel talked enough about Sunderland.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Sunderland?
No.
Adam, if you want to talk about Sunderland.
No. So yeah.
We did Man City, Sunderland, Brighton, Forest and West Ham. We'll just settle ourselves to
I was thinking we're probably not going to win both of Sunderland and Forest. They are two quite tricky games, but of course we'll beat West Ham. What are you on about?
Or will we?
We will. Yeah.
I've picked 4 rivals for the Champions League places. They're kind of all up for grabs in a certain sense. If we could just remember how many points Villa and City were ahead of us, I think it's about 7. So you want a phone? No.
Well, to the point that when I was looking at this, I have ignored Villa altogether. I've not looked at Villa's games because I don't think they're our business. I think the two above us are our business, but I thought City were one of the two above us. So
Chelsea are a point above us, and United are 2 points above us, and they are our business, very much our business. And it is very, very, very likely that Champions League places go to 5 this season, and I think we might need that 5th place. Let's not lie to ourselves. But I also don't. I think the inconsistencies, of City, and the fact that Villa aren't actually that good, despite having had a really good season, means I think there's a possibility one of them could get dragged back into the pack. That's just my maybe wishful thinking on it. Let's start by talking about Man U's games. Start with you, Joel, on this one. I'll just tell you what they are. They've got 4 league games because they're not in the FA Cup in this phase. Spurs at home, West Ham away, Everton away, and Palace at home.
They all seem quite winnable for informed United. I think the thing with United is that, not too dissimilar to us. They've got a couple of really informed attacking players. I think Bruno Fernandes is, going on leaps and bounds. I think he's, one of the most informed players in the team. And unlike in previous seasons, he's actually got a decent support cast around him. And, particularly with Mbeumo and Cunha, and even Sesko has got banging in a couple of goals. So they do seem a bit of a worry. Now, you never know with United. You feel like they're always one game away from a crisis. So I think, you know, if... who have they got this week?
Well, Spurs at home.
Spurs.
I think it's interesting. Spurs will be buoyed by coming back against City, won't they?
And they're a bit of a bogey team for United.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact record, but I know in recent years United haven't got a sniff. Them, obviously including the Europa League final last season as well. So hopefully, you know, Spurs can get something off them, because I think that we need that. I mean, I've been saying all season, you know, 3 games in a row will get you into top 4 or 5. But that's slightly changing now, because United, if they win, they'll have 3 games in a row. I think Chelsea have already won 3 or 4.
United have done 3, haven't they? They did Arsenal, City, and Fulham. They've done 3.
So they've done 3 exactly. So it's actually going to take more than that, I think. That
lad's nearly getting a haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
They are
2 games away. Only 2 games.
They are top 4 United as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 4th.
Yeah, and they look fairly strong. But as we said, I think that can unravel. So we've just got to be there to pounce. I think we're going to have to go at a good rate though to basically, you know, knock Chelsea and United off it. I think they're going to have a lot of momentum at the moment, and the only way we can worry them is if we obviously keep up and stay right with them.
Yeah. What do you think about United? I mean, obviously it's not nice to see United winning football matches. There's a part of me that has got slightly mixed feelings on it, because when they appointed Carrick, I thought the stupid bums will end up giving him the job permanently, lol. And, you know, at the end of the day, he's a championship manager. But there's a horrible...
Is he?
Or is he? Yeah, there's a I mean, he has just won 3 games, but there's a horrible... Momentum can do strange things to a football club.
Yeah, I'm in a weird position at the moment where I don't hate Man United. I don't get it. I don't know what's happened. I think Michael Carrick might be a decent human being. For you know, it is clearly... The new manager bounce they're having there is unreal, and you know he's clearly doing something with, you know, a talented squad. They bought a lot of good players, and he's actually getting them playing well. So it would appear that it's not rocket science, and maybe Ruben Amorim was completely out of his depth, and Michael Carrick is a better manager. They will almost undoubtedly have a new manager next season, but we don't need to worry about next season yet. I think they've got a very winnable run there. I think the one banana skin for them out of those 4.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I think
the
it's the Blues.
Yeah.
Because they're so unpredictable. There is, at any point in any season, Everton can take points off a major team.
No one wants to go the hill, Dicko.
No. It's you know, it's the cold down there, the wind. You know, it's Man United won't be used to that, living in basically a tropical climate in Manchester. I think they'll lose. I think they could draw to Everton. They could lose to Everton.
Should we go that game and support the Blues?
Yeah, let's go.
I'd rather go that one.
I'll get on massive season tickets. That'll be a good laugh, that. But other than that, yeah, I can see them beating Spurs, because Spurs are in a weird trough. West Ham obviously are awful. Palace aren't in the best of places because they're just plummeting. So I think United, especially with not having an FA Cup game in that run, I think that's a good run for them. But I think Everton, it might be the tricky one.
Yeah, I must entirely... Well, I do think Everton will be tricky, but I think Spurs is going to be tricky for them as well. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be... I can see them losing to Spurs just because Spurs are mental. And that second half against City, they had no right to come back in it, and they did, and they deserve to. Should we move on to Chelsea, Adam? I'll tell you their games because you want to know. They start with Wolves. If you thought the United one, mind you, they start with Wolves away, Leeds at home. They've got Hull in the FA Cup. They've got Burnley at home, and they finish with Arsenal away, which looks like a piss-easy run until the last bit.
Yes, yeah.
Wolves, Leeds, Burnley in the league, plus Arsenal, Hull in the FA Cup.
Another team that I think have found goals, which is maybe masking the fact that they haven't found consistency really. I think that is theirs and United's. I think will probably turn out to be what they look like.
What, their games?
Their games, yeah. I think they're going to win a lot of those games. And out of Chelsea and United, I think it's probably Chelsea that I have more doubts about in terms of the consistency. I sort of...
Also a new manager bouncer. How many's he won? 3 in the league? Senior?
Yeah, I haven't been as convinced.
He's lost a couple though as well.
Yeah.
Well, he lost to Arsenal in the League Cup twice. Did he do both of those games?
Yes, I think so.
He lost both of those. Can't remember now.
Yeah,
I won a few in the league.
I have actually watched a couple of Chelsea games since he's taken charge, and I haven't been hugely hugely impressed. I think they've got some really good attacking players.
Yes, I watched the one where they got a last second 3-2.
Yeah.
Who was that against the other week? And they didn't play that well.
Oh yeah, that was
Was it Fulham or somebody? Or
Or
Palace or somebody? I don't know.
one of those.
Yeah. Somebody from
Oh,
down
they were
south.
2 down to West Ham.
Yeah, it was West Ham.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
They bring it back to 2-2.
Just
but-
before we kick off against
Yeah,
Newcastle, I
right.
think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've watched them and thought they look okay, and they look like a team that should probably be challenging for top 4, top 5, and will potentially get there. So yeah, I just think they're probably not quite as good and not quite as solid looking in terms of being able to carry it on as United. So I think they'll win the games that they should win, which is most of them.
I also think.
Sorry.
So I was just going to say, I also think Chelsea fans are waiting to be angry as well. I think, they're not obviously happy with their ownership. They're not happy that Rosenior has come in on the whole.
Are they not?
Well, I think it's just more the way it's gone in terms of, they just put the guy from Strasbourg out.
Yeah.
It's not very lofty ambitions for a
It
club.
just happens to already work for them.
Exactly. So I think they're waiting to turn, and if they lose a couple of games, it could get negative quite quickly.
Because basically, as you're saying about Carrick, Rosenior is basically a championship manager. That's what he was before he went to Strasbourg.
Yeah.
So he's not managed at the highest level. The thing with Chelsea, I think, is you don't know who their team are. Mm-hmm. They never seem settled as a team because they've got so many footballers. Everyone's interchangeable, and they don't really have an identity as a football team at the moment.
No, I say having watched that West Ham game, I thought I couldn't see a big, even though they pull it back for a win, I didn't see any significant difference in the Rosenior era versus the Maresca era. Villa, well, let's do the last two. We can do Villa and City. We think they're about 7 points ahead of us. Maybe we're lucky. I hope we can come out of this and find out. Go on, you do some checking. We can come out of flight mode for the purposes of this. I'll keep talking while buying you timing. I mean, obviously, with some gap behind these two. Let me just give you their fixtures. I'll do Villa first. Villa's fixtures are Bournemouth away, Brighton at home, Newcastle at home in the FA Cup. Wish it was the league.
Yeah.
Leeds at home in the league, Wolves away. So the league games: Bournemouth away, Brighton home, Leeds home, Wolves away.
But I think they are collapsing a little bit. I think Villa have already had a dreadful month, basically, by their recent standards, and I suspect it might continue at least for a bit of this run. So
although the fixtures are kind here,
they are, yeah, but they're the ones I've got an eye on in terms of us being able to usurp somebody.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be to come the end of the season, probably not in this run unless they really fall off a cliff.
we still have them to play, and whereas I wouldn't want to say, we if we had City to go to, you go, well, at least can go get put. You go, I wouldn't want to go to the.
I'd be dead confident if I was going to Villa Park this weekend.
If we needed the points, I'd be relatively confident too.
Villa are 7 points ahead of us. City are 8.
How does City get another point?
They
How did that happen?
just got added on the table.
I'm not having that.
Maybe
I'm not having-
the trial's concluded and that's what they've given.
I'm not having that at all.
Plus 1 point.
Yes, 115 charges. Here's an extra point for you, lads. Don't do it again.
Villa 7. We can keep in our back pocket that maybe if we need to, we can win there. So they're not outside from us. City, well, Joel, this is the weekend that determines whether City can stay out of sight from us or not. I mean, in a sense, I don't want to be melodramatic about it. Okay, their games are us this weekend. Fulham at home, Salford in the FA Cup, Jesus. Newcastle at home, and then Leeds away. Is this sort of our last chance to reel them in? I mean, it's our last literal chance, but is it, if we don't reel them in, is it fairly safe to say that we're unlikely to catch them?
Well, yeah, even a draw, I mean, 8 points feels like a big gap. Obviously, if we lose the game, then I think it's game over. But that's quite a tricky run.
It is.
Do you say Fulham?
For us, Fulham home, forget Salford, Newcastle home, Leeds away.
Yeah, I mean, they're all teams that would give them a game at the very least. I mean, Fulham, a bit mad, you never know. They could be unbelievable or they might just not be at it.
They'll lose 6-4.
Yeah, exactly. I think they'll obviously dispatch of Leeds. Newcastle might give them some problems. I know they dealt with them quite comfortably in the League Cup, but I think we could reel them in, but they are going to have to fall off a small cliff, I think, for us to really sort of overtake them. But
it would only be if we win.
If we beat them,
it's 5 points. It's not.
Yeah, no, that is fair. So yeah, if we win, I think we'll be well on the charge, and they're definitely in our sights. I think we can start to look forward there, but it's a big if this weekend, I think.
What do you think on City?
I don't think we're reeling them in.
Not really.
I liked my scenario earlier on where we were only 2 points behind them. I thought
That was brilliant.
it was achievable.
We
at
go
that
back
point.
to that world.
Yeah, I like that
Take your phone
world.
off.
I don't think we need to be looking at City. I don't think we need to be looking at Villa. I think the only thing that concerns us is United and Chelsea.
I wasn't going to put
and
City on the
finish
agenda,
fourth.
but Milo said we had to. He absolutely insisted. Yeah, we'll throw him under a bus here.
Fair enough. That's,
Write in and complain about Milo, please.
Well, I can write it on the back of my notes and pass it over to Milo and say,
Spelled Milo.
yeah. They're not our concern, not this season.
Sorry.
We're too far behind and we're not catching up with them. Even if we win this weekend, we're not catching up with them, I don't think.
Bad news.
Well, it's one of those. We should be aiming for fourth. That's all we can aim for. Fourth and a good couple of good cup runs. That's what we should be aiming for at the moment.
Whoopie-doo.
This season's a reset.
Is it? Yeah.
We just accept the fact it's a reset. A couple more players in next season. Next season we push on.
Is that fair? Is it a reset?
Probably. It's probably fair to say that we're not going to reel City in. I didn't realise they were 8 points ahead of us. I don't know where they got that extra point from. But yeah, I think City will finish second. They look like the second best team, so they'll probably finish second.
Are you clear who you want to win the league out of City and Arsenal? See, I'm not clear.
I'm not too clear. I mean,
Most Liverpool fans, I think, I'm going to exaggerate 90% plus, as long as Arsenal don't win it. But I'm not.
I think City are just a bit weird because it feels like it doesn't count when City wins it.
That's what my lad said to me. But I don't want them to be back. And if they win the league, they're back. And you think they're likely to then go win it again next season.
Well, with Pep going, do we expect Pep?
I suppose if Pep goes, yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
And it depends what league they're actually in next season.
I will behave. Is it?
I'm clinging on to hope.
As if the charges will be resolved by the end of next season.
And as if anything will ever happen.
No. Actually, you're right. The Pep factor is important. That might make me switch back to City from Arsenal.
But then it depends. You could get someone very good in, a Luis Enrique or someone like that. So they could be just as dangerous. But yeah, also Arsenal they're a lot louder, aren't they, than City fans? So you have to deal with that.
Hard to swallow that one. Fortunately, hopefully they continue to sort of limp to the line as well, because they're not hitting a hell of a stride in terms of their points game. Somebody said to me, I was listening to the radio, they're only 3 points ahead of where they were this time last season, Arsenal. That's shit. So, yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, the last 2 seasons, really, there hasn't been much of a challenge from another team to the team that look like they're going to win the league. But Arsenal, I think we're sort of imagining that Arsenal are Liverpool from last season, and I'm not sure they are.
No, they're just not.
I think, unfortunately, City are the inconsistent team that they've been painted as, and they're the main problem, really. Last season they didn't challenge. This season they're not looking like properly challenging either. It's just a case of whether Arsenal can like hold their nerve, and I think they just about will, but they're not. It's not a sort of, write it all off in terms of the points on the board or the performances for me, which it was at this point last season for Liverpool. And I do think that people are kind of conflating the two a little bit.
I think this last year's Liverpool, I think I heard that we'd be 4 points clear of this Arsenal at this stage if we got the points, which shows us quite.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for them to win the league badly. You have to feel a sense of disappointment.
I mean, I'm not sure there is a bad way to win the league. Maybe I think I'd rather Arsenal won it slightly, because then I think they won't win it next season. I'm actually not.
I was sort of.
I can't remember the last time I've been less bothered. I'm not disinterested, but I'm really not that bothered who wins it out of City and Arsenal. I just can't find it in me to get really wound up.
Do you know
about
why?
Arsenal until we play them.
I tell you why I
really
think
do get wound up by them.
I agree with that. I'm not that wound up. I'm not eaten inside with potential jealousy, like when Man U were winning leagues, with them closing in on another title. You go, I'd do anything for them to not win it this season, but that's because we were shit. More often than not. You sort of have a hunch, I think, deep down, that we might actually still be the best team. We just haven't been able to show it for.
So that's kind of what I mean. I sort of think maybe I am edging towards Arsenal, because then maybe they'll be like us when we've won the league and just basically be crap for a good few months at the start of the next season, and we'll be away.
I'd love to think that, but they're crap at times at the moment, and they're still getting away with it. I'm against Arsenal winning it because of how anti-football they've become. Because everything they do is they're playing for yardage and they're playing for set pieces, and they've got bigger lads who like to have a lie down every so often.
Yeah.
It's
Own goals are their top goals.
I know, it is annoying.
You see, that's a perfect way to see them win the league.
Yeah.
With
no,
top goal scorer
this would be
being
like
own goal.
Stoke winning it. They've ruined
Exactly.
football. They've turned everybody into
It was
locked
always
down
Arsenal in
merchants.
the past, though, before Wayne.
George Graham era.
I don't.
But Arteta, 2-3 seasons ago, had them playing good football. They're an entertaining team. He's taking all the joy out of them, and they're going to win by taking the joy out of football.
Yeah, stupid Lego-headed knobhead.
Yeah. I'd rather City win it because then it doesn't matter because they cheated.
Did I say that?
No, I was talking over you. No one heard it.
Let's go to the board. It's prediction time.
Okay.
Do it.
Let's see if I can do this without standing in front of it and offending the camera. This better not make me look fat now than this side of the room. Let's do in reverse order for lols. Let's do. How do we normally do this? We each use points. We'll start with you, Joel. Do you want to give me the points total you think City will get
What across 4 games? Is it?
across the 4 league games? Yeah. Could you look up the starting points because I'm going to add those to them.
So,
A reminder.
reminder of the game.
The reminder of the sorry to this. There's a lot to ask to remember. City's games in the league are Liverpool away, Fulham at home, Newcastle at home, and Leeds away. So how many points do you think from that 4?
So I think they lose to Liverpool, and then
Fulham home, Newcastle home, Leeds away.
between 2 wins and a draw,
That's
so 7 points.
7 points. What do you think about Villa, who have Bournemouth away, Brighton home, Leeds home, Wolves away?
I think again 7 for them.
Okay. Chelsea have Wolves away, Leeds home, Burnley home, Arsenal away.
I think that's 3 wins, 9 points, and then draw against Arsenal.
So 10.
Sorry, 10 points, yeah.
Yeah. United have Spurs home, West Ham away, Everton away, Palace home.
I'm going to be optimistic and say a draw against Spurs and Everton, and then win the other 2. So
That 10 again.
no, 6. Sorry, 8.
You said 2 draws, 2 wins. Right,
Yeah.
okay. Going back here. And now, the Reds. Do you want the games again?
So we've got City.
City, Sunderland away, Forest away, West Ham home.
Let's go 10 points.
Okay.
Let's be bold.
E.
Right, do you want the points everyone's on at the moment?
Go on, tell me.
City are on 47.
Yeah,
Villa are on 46.
yeah,
United are on 41.
yeah.
Chelsea are on 40.
And the Reds are on 39.
Are on 39.
Okay, I want your City points haul.
Right, okay, City. Sorry, I'm going to ask for the teams again. I was paying attention, but I've forgotten.
Liverpool away, Fulham at home, Newcastle at home, Leeds away. Can you memorise these next time?
Yeah,
Seven.
no, I know them. I know them.
7.
7 points for City.
Where's he? There we go. 7. Villa, I'll give you the teams again. Bournemouth away, Brighton home, Leeds home, Wolves away.
9.
Big 9 for me. Chelsea, who are Wolves away, Leeds home, Burnley home, Arsenal away.
10.
10, okay. What have we got next? United, Spurs home, West Ham away, Everton away, Palace at home. You're going to say...
9.
Oh, you're having them lose one, are you?
Yeah, I'm having them lose against Everton now.
Brilliant. Can't wait to go to that with you. The Reds, E.
12.
Yes, is right. It's right. It's all on you, Adam. Well, it's not.
Okay.
City first. Do you want the games?
No, it's fine. I think City will get 9.
Where are you there? Chelsea.
Villa, you mean?
Sorry, Villa.
Yeah, I think they will get 7.
Now Chelsea.
10.
10. Oof, consensus there. United.
10.
10. Reds.
9.
Ooh, who are we losing to? You don't know.
So
don't know, do you? Someone.
One of the difficult ways.
Okay. Because you know we love losing a game, don't you?
Yeah.
No, I've got to fucking work it out what I'm doing. City. Yeah, lose to Liverpool. Beat Fulham. That's 3. Draw with Newcastle. 4. 5. Yes. Villa have got Bournemouth. Draw. Brighton at home. Draw. Leeds at home. Win. It's 5. And I think they'll draw with Wolves. Madly, because I think they're wobbling. Chelsea won't win. Yeah, they'll win at Wolves, beat Leeds, that's 6. Draw at home to Burnley, 7, and lose to Arsenal. United, I will go draw with Spurs, draw with West Ham, draw with Everton, beat Palace. That's a lot of draws in my world.
Second after this.
Yeah.
I'm working
We are
towards
catching
something. And of course we're going to get 12. Do I think we'll get 12? I've said this before, but I'm wrong every time, so I probably jinx us if I say this. Nah, what the hell? Okay, now we work out the averages. Not very scientifically. 14, 23, 28. So the average is 7 there. Okay, so we see... 7 is the average, which would see City on 54. Have I done that? Oh, I'm talking shit, aren't I? 14, 23, 28. 28 divided 4 is 7. What am I doing wrong here?
Nothing I can say.
Oh, it's the 5 that pulls it all down. So they're on 54. Villa, 14, 23, 29. So it's 7 and a bit. So we'll call it 7 again. So they'll be on 53 points. My writing. Chelsea, 37. What's the average there?
9 and a bit.
9 and a bit. So they'll be on 49 in this world. United, 16, 24, 33. Divide 4 is 8 and a bit. So they'll be on 49. Liverpool now. 24, 34, 43. That's 10 and a bit.
10 and a bit.
That's 49. Well, that's fascinating, isn't it? Given the optimism. Whoa, look at this. Look at this. All tied on 49. And a mere 5 points off City, a mere 4 off Villa.
We're reeling Villa in at that point as well, I think.
Yeah.
We've all made these predictions. Would we all sign off on this?
Yes.
Yeah, we would, given that Melia gave us 12 points and boosted the average. Brilliant. Okay, well, that was fascinating. I have no more to add. I think we're going to call it this over. Thanks, Joel.
Thank you.
Solid debut. Come back anytime. You didn't do too badly.
Bit random in places.
Yeah, you're a bit up and down. A bit like Liverpool season for you.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
We got better at the end.
I started badly, but I became...
Got a lot worse at a certain
became
point.
Hugo Ekitike at one point there, so...
Thanks, Adam.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.